Hey everybody, so I asked you guys, would you like to see a review on the book Atomic Habits? And you guys said yes, you would love to know my thoughts about the book since I just finished reading it. And so here I am. I'm going to just kind of give a quick overview. Hopefully this will give you an idea whether you want to either read it or even purchase it and then take the time to read it. I am all about creating new habits. This book was very easy to read, and it was something that I actually was able to read like 15 minutes before I went to bed every night. So it didn't take me that long to read it. I really enjoyed reading it. It's very well put together. The chapters are small enough that as a busy mom that I can sit down and read for those few moments without losing my train of thought. And there wasn't so many technical terms in there. Like sometimes when you read books, particularly on habits or medical books, sometimes there's such huge terms that at 11:30 or 12 o'clock at night, this brain, it can't handle that. And that wasn't the case. This was really easy for me to just read at nighttime to get the concepts and go to sleep. And the next day I could pick up right where I left off. So I thought that there alone was extremely valuable because not all books are written like that. One of my main takeaways with this book is that habits are most powerful when they are combined. So just like when you have one habit, you don't see any change because it's only one habit. But as you stack those habits and the longer you go performing those habits, that's when you start seeing huge amounts of change. And a lot of people will say, when you see that big change, and if you were to think about it on a linear graph, you have habits and you're making little changes slightly going up, and then the habits start to compile, and all of a sudden you see this. And people call that an overnight success. Well, what they don't see is all the before, which you don't see a lot of change in the beginning, but it's happening. And that's why it's so important to change your habits. So how does this apply to my life here? Parsnips and Parsimony, you guys most of you have been here for a very long time, and kudos for you to stick around this channel for that long. But you'll remember in those beginning vlogs what my life was like, what my house was like. I mean, I feel like I am in the 5.5, almost 6 years of vlogging. I've changed so much, and maybe that's only I see it, but I feel like I have changed so much, and all for the better. But the habits had to start little by little. And I'm not saying that I've arrived at all, because I certainly have not arrived at all. But it just is to show and encourage you guys that habits can make a change. And that's what he's saying, is these are not just little things. He goes, they add up in the long run. And that's what you have to think about. He also encourages, instead of goal setting, habit setting, because goals, think of it the dieting effect. Say you want to lose 20 pounds. Your goal is to lose 20 pounds. You lose the 20 pounds. You have intense laser-like focus to lose those 20 pounds. You lose the 20 pounds, and then what happens? If you haven't changed your habit, slowly the weight comes back up, and then all of a sudden you have to make a new goal to lose those 20 pounds again. And it creates that yo-yo effect. Habits help prevent the yo-yo effect because you are changing for the better as a permanent fix. On the topic of how habits slowly add up to bigger things, an example he used was ice. So we're in the middle of winter here in the Northeast, and ice, what happens with ice is at 18 degrees, it's frozen, right? 20 degrees, it's still frozen. 28 degrees, it's still frozen. 31 degrees, it's still frozen. What happens at 32 degrees? It's starting to melt. At 33 degrees, everything's melted, all because of 1 degree. But nothing really changed from 8 degrees up to 31 degrees. Nothing changed. People don't see that, but they see between 32 and 33 degrees, the ice went from a solid state to a liquid state. One of the quotes that I loved from the book was, habits shape your identity, but your identity shapes your habits. He challenges you to sit down and to figure out what you want your identity to be. What do you want to be like? And that just takes some quiet time to sit down and reflect and when you start thinking, who do I want to be? Who do I want to be like? That is going to shape your habits and what habits you need to accomplish to become more like what you want to be. And I think back to when I first started vlogging, there were things that I was filming and I would see on camera when I'd go back and edit. And I'd be like, ooh, that's not the mom I wanted to be. I had a picture in my mind of what I wanted to be like as a mom. When I filmed it, that's not what I was seeing. And those were things that I knew I wanted to change. So if there's anything I could encourage you guys about is taking some quiet time, figuring out who you want to be, and then make those changes in your life, breaking them down into smaller habits. And you might not see immediate results, but in the long term, those results will show and you'll become more like the person you want to be. He breaks the book down into, after his introduction and a little bit of history about habits and a few stories about his experience with habits, he breaks the book into four different sections about the 4 laws of habits, which include making it obvious, making your habits attractive, making your habits easy, and making them satisfying. And within each of those units, he's got a couple smaller chapters. Again, it's very bite-sized, it's very doable. If you're a busy mom, you don't have a lot of time to sit down and read. I like that the chapters are easy enough to just sit down, read, and then you could still pick up your train of thought later on. And I think that was very, very valuable for me in this book. He had an example of the habits of how they become so mindless, and he shared how this one sales lady had several customers in a row use gift cards for their purchases, and the policy of the store is when the gift card is used up, you cut the gift card and throw it away. And so she had multiple customers come through and she did their gift card, cut it up. Well, just as she's checking out, the next customer comes through and checks out and uses their credit card, and she just mindlessly took the credit card and cut the credit card. And it was a habit. She didn't even think about it. And all of a sudden she looked at the face of their customer, the horror. Why did you just cut up my credit card? And that's just that example of how habits can be so deeply entrenched that if we're not thinking about our actions every day, it can be good and it can be bad at the same time. Another takeaway point is writing down your habits, specific, even adding times to it if need be, can increase your success over than just saying, I want to get up earlier every day. Writing down your specific habit, and if you can assign a specific time value. For example, I'm going to exercise every day at 8 a.m. You're writing down your goal and you have a specific time. Another suggestion he had was habit stacking, which if you have the habit of brushing your teeth every morning, you make whatever habit you want to work on. Say, after I brush my teeth, I'm going to do X, whatever it is. And by stacking a new habit with an existing habit, you increase your chance of success staying on target with that habit. I hope this review didn't give away everything in the book. I hope it just sort of whet your taste to reading the book. I really enjoyed it. I thought he had a lot of excellent points to it, and I would recommend this book for you guys to sit down and read. I don't always recommend every book that I read, but this is one that I think for self-development and improvement and just overall improving your life, this is one of those books that is worth reading and taking the time to. As always, thanks so much for watching. Let me know if you like this style video, sort of playing around with some different styles beyond our daily vlogs to see if this is something that you guys enjoy as well. I hope you're having a fabulous day. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you for your next video. Bye.